Good, Brad. Okay. So we'll get started. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming out on this incredibly hot day. So we'll get started here. 4.1. I have a motion here. I'm gonna get an order for a second. I have a motion here. Moved by Mike Nagel, seconded by Gordon McKenzie, that the minutes be adopted for the Special Events Committee dated July 31st, 2023. You all have the minutes in front of you. Before I call for the vote, does anyone have a chance to look over them? Is there any errors, omissions, or amendments that they would like to make? Being none, can I have a show of hands? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Business arising from the minutes, 5.1, trivia nights, Wyoming and Plympton-Wyoming. So we have set dates for the trivia night for both Wyoming's, or let's do Plympton-Wyoming. It is October 14th. And Wyoming is November 11th. The Plympton-Wyoming one is going to be Halloween themed. Dress up is encouraged. And the Wyoming one is basically going to be just a general trivia with a nod to Remembrance Day at the Legion. And Plympton-Wyoming will be at the community center. Some of us were tasked with getting donations for door prizes or prizes for first, second, third. You want to take over that?
I don't think we've done anything in that regard yet.
Okay.
Waiting for a budget.
Okay. What do we figure for prizes? What did we figure on that?
My understanding is we weren't knocking and asking people for sponsors, so I'm confused by that comment.
Is that what you?
My understanding is we were just going to buy them.
Buy them, okay.
That's my understanding also.
Yeah,
It's mine also.
because I don't have time to go around to businesses and knock on.
Okay, so in that respect, how much are we going to put towards that then, just so we can figure it into a budget?
So are we doing $10 per person or 5? Because I think that will change. Yeah.
5, I think, is
Maybe 5.
probably the best to keep it at it.
So
Lights on.
how many people are we expecting?
The Legion has 200 chairs and 25 tables, I believe. And I've got it down here in here somewhere. Yeah, but I don't know about Plympton-Wyoming. Is it about the same? Anybody know it?
Probably.
If we assume, so that's about 200 people. That seems high.
For
but
both?
per event. Because 25
Oh.
tables times 8.
Yeah, both of them were packed.
Yeah, okay, so that's $1,000 in admission fees, and then what are we paying for trivia?
It will be about 330.
330 each or in total? We still net a profit of 340. So we
340.
yeah, so we could spend.
And we still want to give it, we give something to the hall also to the
Yeah.
optimists, whatever too. I know at our, at our subcommittee meeting, we had talked about first, second and third prizes for Halloween costumes and stuff. And then the conversation kind of went round and round. And then I know that for the door prizes, forget Halloween, but the door prizes for the trivia nights. Sorry, not door prizes, the team prizes, I guess you could say. Last year was around $60 per $65 per prize. And we had 3 prizes, so I don't know if we had just talked about $65, just leaving it at $65 and 2 prizes. And the Halloween ones would just be for the costume prizes in lieu of team prizes, first and second prizes. But having said that, I was kind of in and out of the video, so I could have very well missed something, but that's what I'd come away with, but I could be wrong, but I don't know. Did I miss
People
something?
expect the prize for the trivia too, though,
Well, they could.
by means it is a trivia night.
Well, yeah, since the trivia is marked, isn't it? So we should have, or we can have 1 or 2 prizes for Halloween costumes and then the trivia
Was
for
it
that
first,
night.
second, or first, second, third?
I think it was first, second, third
Third?
before, but I don't,
Yeah.
I think we could just do first and second.
First and second?
because-
So we should just have a discussion all over again.
Like, I think if we did maybe like 50 for first place, 25 for second, and then did an additional 25 for best group costume or best dressed team for Halloween one.
So for some clarity, what did you do before? Was it first, second, and third for the teams?
Yes,
Even prizes?
yeah,
Was it money or gifts, or what did you do for that?
gifts.
And was it the $65 value I heard? Or
Yeah, it was about that.
Most of the
Yeah.
gifts were right around the $65.
Yeah. We've gotten donations from a bunch of local businesses for items.
About just giving them taking money out of you've got money in your budget.
Yeah.
To do the same. for them.
We talked about that too, because we didn't, last year we went around to sponsors and other businesses to look for prizes, but this year, at least for now, we had discussed just making it easier and taking it out of the pot and cash prizes, and then we talked about gift cards, but then, if it's for a team, then how do you divvy up a gift card kind of thing, so.
The cash might be hard to do. Can we give away cash?
I wouldn't think that there's an issue with that because you're spending the cash one way or another.
So we could take that out of the missions. On.
And then that way the winning teams can do what they want with the money.
Yes.
Chances are they'll either drink it or
Yeah.
eat it or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. So what do we want to do for the Halloween then? First and second prize for costumes and first and second prize for trivia teams and third.
We could also do like best dressed team and best dressed individual.
I'm not really a big Halloween person, so I'm not really into the whole costume thing. I know you love Halloween.
I mean, and I said I would dress up. I don't
Yeah.
really care if there's a prize or not. I would get dressed up because I like Halloween. Like, it's not going to be a draw for someone to dress up or not if you're giving them a cash prize. Like, you'll have people that do it and you have people that won't. That's
right. Well, I think for these letters that I'll send once there's reservations too, for the Halloween one, I can add that on too.
why don't you just do the door prizes? That way both are just and leave. Like, if people want to dress up, dress up. Then nobody has to make that decision who's the best dressed either. And just do the door prizes. That way both are the same. We don't have to do anything else. Everything's the same for Lackey and Wyoming.
It's based on the trivia winner.
Based on the trivia, isn't like 2 door prizes.
That's fine, because I agree with you. It might get awkward too when you decide who is the best dressed versus who is, and then it's subjective.
I mean, people will dress up or they won't. Like, you still have the Halloween theme.
Encourage you to dress up no matter, that's it.
I mean, if it's Halloween theme, most like people will dress up.
Mike here, he's gonna dress up.
I need to see that. confused on what are we doing? Are we doing?
First, second, third, and then do 2 door prizes each.
Okay,
That way it's pretty much what it was last year too, because we did first, second, third. And then a couple.
It's just random.
We didn't have door prizes, but he did a couple door prizes.
He did.
Yeah.
Remember during the games, he would do draws.
So we'll let him use his prizes for that.
no, we
No.
do have to get our own.
He brought them in case we didn't get any.
Okay.
For the first one, we didn't even realize that we had to get any, so
Do we have to do them? Is it a problem if we don't?
we'll have to tell him.
I think from my understanding is he always does something at everyone he goes to. Whether it's his people that sponsor, give him sponsorship or prizes, or whether we get our own.
Were his prizes spread to the city, something going on in the city or anything in the country?
I would say probably from Sarnia, probably most of it was from Sarnia area, I guess, really. So we can kind of then, as a subcommittee level, just kind of figure out dollar wise, or do we want to set that now so I can kind of ask for an overall budget?
And
I
I think we should have the same dollar wise for every trivia night for door prizes and if it like. Right through.
Okay, now the door prize goes to an individual, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just going back to the gift certificate, if we're using a door prize going to an individual, can we not get a gift certificate we purchased from a local business?
Yeah, you could do like a $20 gift card
A
to
little bit for
a local, a couple local businesses,
How much do we want it for?
$25.
20, 25. I wouldn't go more than that.
$5?
Yeah.
That's times 2. First prize then? Are we doing cash then for first prize?
I agree
Yeah, I
with
think so.
that.
And that would be,
You said it was 65 before. Let's
do.
go 65. Unless you wanna go for it with inflation.
65 divides nicely into 8. But 65 is,
Yeah.
yeah.
8 times 8, 64. Yeah, $64.25, or well, whatever.
Go really easy and go 75, 50 and 25. There are 3 different levels.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I am too.
And
Yeah.
buy it.
So 75 for first, 50 for second, and 25 for third, and that would be cash. That'll be paid out of admissions.
For the door prizes, I have $50 still from the barber shop that was donated last year, so I'll grab 2 gift certificates for
Okay.
local here.
You want a motion for that, so it's recorded and taken care of?
It's 350 in total.
What?
350.
That's, are you
300?
doubling for,
For the prize.
300 and then the 2 gift cards for 50, for 25 each, so 350.
Yeah, I was gonna kind of come up with a whole budget then for the whole scenario. Is that okay? Just one lump sum? Sure. So the next part, we did ask Kimlaki or Gore did about food or hot dogs and they just, no. But since alcohol is there, we need to have something. So how about pretzels, chips or popcorn?
I've still got 2 cases and a bit of chips and stuff from
Okay.
last year and
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
downstairs that I keep thinking, you won't miss one bag, but I haven't touched them. So,
Would they be okay still?
yeah, I checked the dates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. They're good till 24, so yeah.
Popcorn would be neat to have, but do we know anyone that has a popcorn maker? I know Connor does the Legion.
Does popcorn count as making food though, or no?
As long as it's something to soak up alcohol.
No, I mean like, does the health unit care if we're popping popcorn?
You have to touch base with them. I think if you let them know, I don't think they'd have an issue with it, but
I have like it's like this tall and it just spins, and then you just flip it over.
Party supply places will rent them.
Oh, I think Let me check with my mom. I feel like she bought one of those like square popcorn makers for her grandkids.
Okay. So if we kind of penciled in, I had here about $150 for pretzel chips or popcorn, whatever mixture. Does that seem reasonable?
Seeing that we've already got the chips and stuff like
Right.
that, at least
I'd rather
At
go
least
high.
for Kemlaki we do, and the Legion doesn't want us bringing
Right.
stuff in, so
Okay,
we should be all right, and especially if we have popcorn, we should be all right.
okay. I had in here based on last year, posters were $35, car plus signs we already have. Alex's Facebook advertising, $35. So 8, and I gotta add in street agreement. So if we do a motion, if I can get a motion to spend roughly, let's say 1,100. Or. Let's just do the October trivia night. I know it's high, but I'd rather cover. Whatever,
We don't have any signs from last year.
we have all that left over still
Oh,
from last year.
okay, so.
Yep.
So the 1,100 advertising is for the newspapers?
No,
and-
just the posters on Facebook, right?
Mhm.
And then food, the convener. 350 bucks in here for door prizes. And a little bit of extra, so roughly. 1,100,
Is that for both?
just for the one. It's,
The 350 and prizes is for both.
that's for both?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so let's just say 1,000 and just run down to 1,000. Is that all right with everyone? It's not gonna be near that, but is that okay if we just pencil out 1,000 for that?
You want a motion?
Yes, please.
The motion that we have a budget of $1,000 for the wacky trivia night.
Seconded by Melissa, thank you. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Do we want to keep the same for the Legion, although we're not gonna have any food there, but it's only $150 there? Do you want to just do the same for easy figuring? Can I have a motion on that one then?
I make a motion that we spend $1,000 on Wyoming trivia night.
Seconded by. I just.
Jessica?
Jessica. That's called a senior moment. Wow, sorry about that. Okay, all in favor? Carried, thank you.
So the Legion is gonna provide the food.
From my understanding, yes, but I will touch base with Connor to confirm. They had no problem last year doing it. So, is it, would it be Connor or would it be Diane, do you think?
The
It's
home,
not Diane, but we can go through Diane to see if we can get an answer.
yeah, the auxiliary, I would believe, puts the food on, because I think over on the bar side, they've only got snacks.
Right. Okay,
Yeah, they had nice food for us
they
last
did,
year.
and they sold out, I believe. too.
Right, yeah, and yeah, Diane is.
That one.
In the ladies auxiliary, so.
You want to ask her that in since you're already chatting with her? Okay, anything else for the trivia nights that we want to talk about right now?
Are we gonna go cash for all the prizes then instead of gift card?
I think except the door prizes. The door prizes will be it. Then everything else will be fine.
Oh, okay.
One question, how much are we going to donate to the hall?
Do you remember, Denny, what it was last year? Was it 350?
Then it was 400.
400? Well, let's assume that it's going to be as packed, if not more packed. Legion, I think, was quite happy. The community center. Lukewarm, I guess, was that the reception? I would say was lukewarm.
Yep, I said that, but
So what if we go 5 for both?
feel like 5 seems high. I don't know what the costs are associated with it, but by the time we do cash and prizes and our other expenses. Not that we don't lose money on every event we do, but. It seems high.
And he said we did 4 last year.
Yeah, of course, the Legion belongs to them, and that's, anything goes there towards their utilities and upkeep. With Connecticut Community Center, you're making basically a donation to the Optimist for their bartending help, is that correct? Because the hall belongs to the town. So you just keep that in consideration when you think of that.
What were they unhappy with last year? Just that there wasn't enough bar sales or?
That's about it, that they didn't get the sales they figured they were anticipating.
Now,
They say that he's.
see, the Legion was selling food.
Yeah.
And they just had the bar, and when we brought the chips, of course, we had checked with them first, and they said, yeah, sure, bring it. We don't want to be selling it, so they could be having more income come in.
You know, their investment in the license and the booze. They said that they just about covered it.
That's probably the difference is they were taking out the license specifically for that.
Which would probably be 150 anyway, I would think.
I confirmed in the minutes and it's 400 for Huron Shores and then 400 for the Legion.
I assume our budget still looks fairly healthy anyway.
How about 500 for the first one and then 400 for the second one? To help them ease the pain on that.
I think,
About 150 for that.
I think for the $100 difference, I think we should just keep it the same for both.
So what would that be then?
Just do 500 for each then.
Find out that one got less than the other.
Right, okay.
So. The Optimists are getting the money from the bar.
Yeah.
Plus you want to give them extra money on top of that.
Like the Legion would be getting money from the bar and the food. And then we made the donation to their renovation fund.
The first time that we did trivia night, because all the prizes were donated, we made money on the event. And then we donated some of those proceeds back to offset the cost of
Right.
having it there.
$500 then, is that included in the $1,000 budget for each? Are you gonna do separate motions?
I think so. Does somebody want to make a motion of what you want to do for Kamlaki?
We want to keep it at 400 and see how it goes.
Well, see, in all fairness too, the very first event we ever did was in Kamlaki. We had no clue how many people would show up and, you know. I think we got a much better idea now, for sure. I'm okay with whatever, because the budget is healthy.
Therefore, I'll make a motion that we provide $500 to the Optimist Club. For their help in the trivia night.
Okay, seconded by. No, thank you. Legion one. A motion for,
I make a motion that we donate $500 towards the Legion for their help with the trivia night.
okay, seconded by Brenda, thank you. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Another discussion on trivia nights at this point.
Bill, do you still have door prizes from Jen's dog grooming?
I give it back to her,
Okay,
so I can probably get another one from her again.
I was just wondering if you still had them.
Yeah, no, I gave it back to her since we didn't use it. I still have three or four $5 ones from health food.
Okay.
Suncoast. Yeah.
Can I get those from you so we can, like, we'll just.
Yeah.
I'll do $20 gift certificate and add a 5 to that for the
So Jessica, are you going to be in charge of the
I can do the door prizes.
door prizes? For both of them or for trivia nights or whatever?
It's fine.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to 5.2 then, Christmas in the Village. It is December 9th, correct? It is at the Legion grounds. Times were 5 till 7,
You say Legion grounds?
sorry, Lions Hall
Lion.
grounds, yes. Yes. What were the times for that?
I think it was 5 to 7.
5 to 7?
Is that what we did last year?
I was trying to find any information from last year, and I don't have. Because we kind of jumped on board at the last, so I don't.
Yeah, I went
really
through my
know.
papers from last year and all that I found was, I wish I'd kept a poster, but.
7 just seems a little.
Was the timetable, like 5 o'clock, 5:30 was tree lighting ceremony. Blah, 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 blah. So, but there wasn't much to it, so.
You're gonna say 7 seems early?
I was gonna say 7 seems early, maybe 5 to 8.
Well, I know, I think they were still going with the horses from
Yeah,
major, so. 5 to 8-ish, I don't, give them a time, it's not hard and fast, I don't think, for cutoff time. I did happen to get a hold of the president of the Lions, Mike Vasey, there to ask him his wishes of, since we are taking kind of over the running of the event, kind of, I don't want to step on their toes, so what he would like to see. His comments were basically to keep it somewhat the same format as last year. With whatever we wanted to add, so.
So as I was reading, the Lionesses are gonna be running their
They're having a craft sale.
craft sale,
It's going to be during the day.
okay.
I think it's 2 to 5 or I don't know, I can't remember. No, 10 to 2 or something like that. So Don Wakefield from there had gotten hold of me and asked me if we were going to have one, and I said, no, there was no talk of it. So Linus had said that they would like to have one, and was it okay? So anyway, so they are. They're gonna go under our umbrella, I guess you could say, of Christmas in the Village. They'll be on our poster, a little like a little blurb on the bottom. But we are not putting on the vendor sale. They are, and they'll be done by the time we start ours. Now, the Lioness will also be at ours, probably doing the cookie decorating, or they did some letters to Santa last year and stuff. So they'll be doing that, but there won't be any craft sale. That's just during the day, and they're putting that on.
And where's that at? Is it
It's
inside?
in the Lions Hall, yeah.
is there a reason why we, like, did they just not want to do it at night? It, like, I feel like it would have overlapped nicely to have both at the same time.
It's probably more for people to get there.
Yeah, it
You
is,
don't have
yeah,
the kids there.
Moms wanna
They
shop,
wanna Go by
yeah.
themselves.
yeah.
Could I ask another thing? Are the Lions gonna be running the barbecue again, the same as they did last year?
I would assume so. I just wanted to fill you in with what Mike had said we can do, and then I do want to set up a meeting kind of with them and maybe every other partner. Now that we kind of have a direction. To kind of hash things out. We got lots of time, so the sooner the better, I think.
I was gonna ask Jill about the craft sale, because I had comments directed to me towards me to ask tonight. Was there any discussion about having just local Wyoming people set up outside for crafts or stuff they wanted to sell their wares?
For during hours.
Yeah, during our thing at night. Nothing.
I think the reason being, I mean, we didn't have we can still have a discussion. I mean, it's not totally up to me. But when the Lioness came forward and said that they wanted to have a craft sale, if we weren't, were we talking about it? And I said, no. You know, it's just, it's a whole other ball of wax when you're having a vendor sale kind of thing. So it's kind of nice if they want to take it over. As far as nighttime and with hours, being a vendor myself, I can tell you it's a really romantic idea to have little twinkly lights outside on December in December and be selling your wares for 4 hours or whatever. It's a nightmare for the person who's working it. If it was indoors, it would be one thing. Outside, yeah, it looks so nice in Gilmore Girls and everything else, but it's and the weather, you know, kind of thing too. It's a whole other ball of wax.
I was
So
thinking more like a Hallmark movie.
yes, well, yeah, that's what Gilmore Girls basically is. So it's a nice thought. And if anybody disagrees with me, you know, go right ahead, but I've been there, done that.
Kind of, I guess, because I feel like Dresden has become the Christmas town of Ontario. And they have night markets, they have heaters out, they have Christmas music, they have all kinds of stuff. And I'm not saying that Wyoming should be Dresden. But I feel like if we're trying to do something and kind of bring people in, that we should look into some of that stuff.
Okay.
I don't know, I think people don't have to be a vendor, it's their choice.
Well, sure, of course. Well, the Lionesses have already started with this with the afternoon. I don't know if we would be crossing the line if we decide to have our own vendors at nighttime kind of thing, but it's maybe something for definite for next year. if we
Yeah,
go with
it's,
bigger for next year.
you
or
know, we have
whatever,
to,
too.
we have to keep in mind that we're kind of really starting out, really the ground running with this, our flavor. Yes, to this event. Each year, hopefully it'll just grow and grow and grow.
I mean, it may not hurt though to just kind of let, like, we could check with the Lioness, but just to let local businesses that want to come. And if they like have a kind of an area set aside, because there was enough area in the field there, and if they set up the, and if they don't, if the weather's bad or if something changes, then there's nothing lost either way.
Well, Brenda had the idea, it was you, Brenda, wasn't it, of the kids having something for the kids to buy, which I think is a nice idea.
I presented an idea, I just thought if we could get donations from local businesses, small gifts. We could create a Christmas gift shop, SHOPPE, and we could have volunteers from the high school who need community hours, and they could be their elves. They could walk through on their own independently with an elf and buy a present for their parent or grandparent, and it would be wrapped on their way out. And I thought if they paid $5, that entire $5 could go to Christmas for everyone. But we would need indoor space for kids, and I don't know your craft sale if it will be dismantled, like I think.
It's supposed to be, it's not my craft sale, but it's supposed to be, yeah.
But the Lioness is usually set up inside and do stuff with the kids inside.
Yeah, I think last year they were just doing
It was-
letters to
Yeah,
Santa.
it
I
was
don't
just
think,
inside the door, though. There was still the rest of the hall, so there is room for that.
I don't know. I mean, we can try. I don't know if we'd ever get like, because roughly how many kids, like how many bags of candy did we go through last year? Does anybody know?
Mm. I can't remember. I want to say there was about 150.
Yeah, like we may be better off trying to find businesses willing to come with $5 items or under. and letting the kids buy from, like, you would send the kid with $5 or $10 or whatever, and have them pick off the tables and then have it wrapped. I know it gets rid of the charity aspect of it, but I don't know if we'd have enough donations for 150, 200 items.
What about if we just kind of do an inquiry and find out whatever? Brenda, do you wanna canvass the businesses or whoever that you're thinking, and tell them about our idea, and would they be interested in either donating or setting up? We just have to make sure that we've got the interest. You know, we don't want to go ahead and say this is great, because I think it's a great idea, and then
There's a fair
we
amount of,
don't get much interest, so I don't know.
yeah, there's a fair amount of businesses in Petrolia that already do stuff like that, and they might be willing to, like, they might be willing to set up a table at the same time, like, I know.
But they're selling their own merchandise, right?
Yeah.
They're still making money from the
Yes.
gifts they're selling. I'm
Yes.
thinking this is more something, because Mike Vasey's wish was to try and do something where we are getting more donations for Christmas for everyone. Is that not correct?
I think that was part of his comment, yeah.
But maybe they could sell $3 things for $5 and $2 could go.
If they're selling their own merchandise, they still want to cover their own costs.
I think maybe we just leave it with Brendan now to gauge interest first, right, before we get to the nitty gritty, just. Because if only one business is interested, let's say, then plan B, but
I think in Wyoming, when I think about Christmas in the Village, I think about when I moved here and it wasn't Christmas in the Village, it was Moonlight Madness. And you would go from business to business and it was a social thing. It was cold, but you'd go to the coffee shop and they would have treats, and it was just, I don't know, I went places that I didn't even like buy stuff, but it was just a fun community.
Yeah, it was, and it was nice, and they had the horse rides and all of
but we.
that.
And in all honesty-
Last year though, right, by soliciting some
Yeah.
businesses, see what they would offer
Yeah.
and not one.
They didn't, nobody, we even just went around and told them when it was, and did they want to decorate and be open, and because people will be out on the streets and, to have their own little sales or anything to get, and nobody wanted to respond. However, doesn't mean that they
That's
might
right.
this year.
It's kind of sad, and in all honesty, I haven't been to a Christmas in the Village event at all. I don't have young kids, so what is
Yeah.
gonna pull somebody else out there? that
Exactly,
doesn't
like,
have young
yeah,
kids?
like this, ours almost seems to be centered around Santa. And it would be nice to have the businesses, all open their doors and lots of festivities and stuff like that. That would be ideal.
Well, all I can say is nothing ventured, nothing gained, so it's worth a shot to at least ask, right?
And I really think there would be room indoors in the Lions Hall during the night if you could get just people to set up tables with their merchandise or whatever, and
Question that was posed to me was, what about outside?
you can do it outside if you want.
That's what was brought to me. It's just because the Lions, I think they figured the Lions. I don't know if they're doing the cookie decorating again, or I don't know how that went, but letters to Santa. They kind of figured that was indoors.
It was, but it was just right inside the door. The rest of the hall.
Wasn't in the
was
hall.
empty.
then.
No, it was inside the hall. Right inside the hall, I think they were just selling baked goods. And then when you went in the hall, they were handing out the paper and the pencils. Now, mind you, it wasn't organized well inside.
Yeah.
So there was definitely space to be used in
Yeah,
there.
there was lots of room still to be utilized.
But we could set it up outside. There's space on the grass.
Or both.
Did they do like the little fire pits last year? Was that during?
Yeah, they had that. I think the firemen put that on.
I mean, that's nice. I guess in my head, if I was doing it, I would see about closing the road off, like in that area. There's no houses there. You have fire pits, you have Christmas trees for sale. You could have decorations, have Christmas music, kind of keep things kind of condensed where people don't feel like, oh, I'm gonna visit Marley's if they stay open or go to wherever, where everybody's kind of together. I guess that's my vision, but
What
Oh,
about,
it's a good idea.
what about lighting outside though?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's-
there was really nothing there last year that really gave you the flavor of Christmas other than trees. So, you know, I've kind of been pulling together a bunch of things for lights, for decorations. Just signage was the biggest thing we found that people had no clue what was there, right? People had no clue there was stuff on the inside, right?
I think that was a big error too, because I think the goal was to have them go inside. Do their letters, do the cookies, come out and see Santa, but everybody just went to Santa first.
Yeah.
And the ones
They
in,
thought that was the only thing.
yeah, the ones indoors, it wasn't promoted.
Yeah.
And it's not,
Telling them to.
I know that, I know you guys were, you're doing the best you could. That was.
So now that, like I said, that now we kind of have somewhat of a direction from Lions that kind of want to meet with everyone to get everybody chatting, I guess, because you know, the sooner the better, right? But and try, we're not going to build it up massively. There's just no way that's going to happen, but over time, for sure, it'll, you know, we add more every year to it, right? Every year we learn from it, but we have nowhere to go but up. Really, is what I'm gonna say, so. But yeah, anyone that's got ideas, do your homework and bring it back so we can see whether it's viable, not viable, it's viable, but we gotta change this or. You know, feelers out in the community and everyone will like everything, I get it, but we can't offer everything, but you know, we've got to start. So now that it's been turned over to us for this year to kind of put our spin on it, we can slowly start to do that.
Jill, do you want to check with Dawn then and see if she has any concerns with us having additional vendors in the evening? I can't imagine she will.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And then even if she wants to share her list of who's coming, maybe some of them want to come back for the evening or stay or.
That's true.
Should we wait though and see if Brenda can find, what interest Brenda can find, or were you thinking more of outside, everybody outside?
I think outside is fine, like as long as, I think we'll have to kind of play it as long as the weather, as long as you're willing to come and set it up, then you're welcome to be there.
I guess I thought outside stuff, but I guess for the kids shopping, I thought that would be probably best inside, but I guess I don't know. If it even flies, I don't know. Just-
It's like everything, it's all weather dependent.
But it shouldn't be. Again, I say this because, I mean, in the last 3 years, I've driven to Dresden to go to their Christmas night market because it's lovely. I don't stay here. I just think we have to do something. I know little by little, I guess. I mean, we can't go in and just like, wow, but I don't know. I feel like we're not really, I don't know. I know it's not that far away. But I feel like we do have time if you look at the calendar, but I think we really have to start planning and. I don't know.
So were
Maybe we don't
were you
really want
thinking of a
to.
outdoor craft sale as well as the merchants?
Really craft sale, I guess, like. Again, I'll go to my work, like, we had done. At Christmas in the Village, we had set up a thing, but we're off the beaten path. And so we had the guys bring back greenery from tree removals, and so for a donation, people could come. It was too late. I feel like people do their greenery in November. We were doing it December. Now this is another week past. Because originally I thought maybe that would be something we could pull a wagon up and people could do that up at our at Christmas in the Village, more central. But now we're a week later, so I feel like most people will have their greenery already done. But then I thought, like, my work has like a little treehouse treasures. We sell the 10 tree hoodies and shirts and stuff. And we have some artesian trees and bowls and stuff.
So, but
Then I think maybe some of the businesses, maybe they would like to put something out,
so, but
not like a craft sale.
what I'm asking is, are you thinking of that kind of thing at each business or at the Lions Hall? And if at the Lions Hall outside?
Yeah, I guess outside and
I know that there's a problem with communication. It was the first thing that Dawn asked me when we were talking, because she said, I don't know what everybody's talking about. Because Christmas in the village to some people mean the craft sales that you went around to all the different houses, which we had years ago and was a big, huge success. And then our Christmas in the village, which is at the Lions Hall, and Dawn was getting all these things crossed until I pointed out all the different Christmas in the villages. Oh, okay, so there. So people aren't doing the ones in the homes anymore, or it doesn't look like it anymore. I used to be involved in that and stuff, so. But, so that's why I'm asking you what you're thinking of. So you're not thinking one thing and I'm thinking another. So outside at ours, at the Lions Hall. Is what you were thinking of.
some stuff inside, some stuff outside, I guess. But- I mean, it's just ideas. I'm not saying that's what it has to be, but I just.
It starts with ideas.
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
Jessica, what you're saying quiet, is there anything that you kind of would like to see this event transition into?
No ideas.
I know the choir that we've always had is not available for this year, and I do have a couple feelers out for some other singers. I'm just waiting to hear back from them. We've always traditionally had a horse and carriage, definitely well worth it. So we'll, I've got some feelers up for that as well. When do the letters, Denny, typically go out from the town to the different organizations asking for their contribution towards the Christmas in the village?
I don't know that we actually did that last year. My knowledge, it wasn't, well, I mean, I did.
Something went to the fairgrounds, right, to ask them if they wanted to pay $800 for the horse and carriage, right?
I think the letter went, if they would like to sponsor it. I don't think there was a dollar figure put in.
Okay.
And I know the Masonic Lodge would do something as well. The only thing I would suggest, if you're gonna have this group meeting, to go over things sooner.
Yep.
It sounds like you've got a lot that things up in the air. Maybe it'd be good to just nail them all down so everybody can have their say and then have your action plan to move forward and from there.
Was that the Lions who sent out those letters then? Because I don't think we did we? I don't recall us.
Was it not on town letterhead?
If it was, it wasn't me that sent it. I can assure you that. I'm happy to, like, well, sorry, I can't say I'm happy to, I won't be here, but, unless it goes out before I leave. You can do that, no problem, but it wasn't me that did it last year, so I don't know where that template would be or anything like that.
I'll find out how that happened then, how that worked. Okay. Yeah, you're right, dear. There is a lot of ideas that are up there, and I gotta amalgamate them with kind of all the other people, so that we can kind of all pool it down into what is feasible, really.
Even if you wanted to meet here, I don't care where you meet, but if you use like the chalkboard. Or even the whiteboard behind you, I should say. You can lay out, here's what we've had in the past. Where do we want to go as a group? And you've got them thinking, and then everybody can go back with their, like Brenda's got some good ideas too that we could throw out there for discussion. But I think sooner than later, got a clear path ahead.
My only deep down concern would be when we tried to do this once before. And Alex had sent out the letters to all the committees and nobody showed up. Nobody showed up. Yeah, that's my only concern, but you have to do it, you have to do it. Who shows up, right?
Maybe we can kick a little butt and say, okay, here. Have somebody there.
Maybe we could even just include in the letter, please let us know who will be attending on behalf. That way, if we don't get a response, we can find the right person to nudge and say, please send somebody.
I know I've had in our group chats, we've had some questions about Christmas music. There's a right way and a wrong way to do it. You can just go ahead and plead ignorance and go ahead and play Christmas music, but technically that's a no-no. For, no, I can't think of it. Copyright infringement in Canada. Unless the song is over, I think it's 63 or 64 years old right now. It's very sticky. Doesn't say that a lot of municipalities probably just play Christmas music and get away with it, but I mean, I don't want to say, yes, we're playing it and put the town in a position at all.
Can we buy a license for a day or does that work?
A daily license, I don't know, to be honest.
What if you're just rebroadcasting?
Well, there's no harm in playing a radio that has Christmas music on it.
Or the YouTube, put the YouTube out on the speakers. Christmas music.
The problem with
There's all sorts of
YouTube
Christmas
is
channels.
ad-
I know that. Hmm?
Problem with YouTube is the ads though. But if you have like, I have a YouTube premium subscription. But I don't know how that works for commercial use versus personal.
Well, that's it. I believe, because I remember looking into this for the fair building when they had it way back when. And it's very sticky. I'll do some more research on it and find out what we can and can't get away with, you know. Stupid as it sounds, I just don't wanna all of a sudden the town liable for something that we should have known, I guess.
This is in addition to the choir, you're thinking.
But we don't have.
There is no.
Well, there's no choir yet, I will say. There is one that there's two people actually that have reached out to yesterday. I'm just waiting to hear back from them. And I have an email into the LCCVI concert band. They are looking for places to come and visit. So I'm just, hopefully next week, once they kind of get settled into things at school, they can come out and do some songs. So I've got a couple irons in the fire there, but nothing definite yet. I do have some decorations and stuff and some signage and stuff that I've shared with the committee. I think it's way too early to kind of get a budget for it, but I think we're starting with nothing. Really, I know space is an issue, but I may have a solution for that. So I'm not too worried about the storage issue. What I've got spec'd out right now, and just in terms of decorations to at least get the ball rolling and make it look Christmassy, is probably about $1,500 to $2,000 to get started at least, so it's Christmassy looking. But I want to talk to the Lions and see if they have stuff kicking around that they can contribute to, so. Anyway.
Do you know what we're looking for, or can you send a list to us? Maybe some of us have some stuff kicking around.
I can, but I don't want to take anyone's personal stuff for home, right? But
We just replaced all of our Christmas lights last year, so I do have a.
okay. Yeah, I'll get a list together then and kind of share it out then, for sure. I don't really have anything else for Christmas in the village at this point, because it's all preliminary, but does anybody else have anything they want to do? Not really? Okay, I guess we can move on from that. Whoop.
Sorry, just on the side, there was a big popcorn machine at Christmas in the village. Did that come
I
from?
think that came from the Legion.
Legion. Because I knew
Yeah.
Connor had bought one there.
And that one with the smell comes out. That lures people over,
The fan behind it too helped.
want to spend their money to buy popcorn.
Yeah, I think all the food was free.
There you go, they're lining up.
But maybe we could ask Connor to borrow it for the trivia nights too, right? All I can do is ask.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't hurt to ask. I mean, maybe they won't care.
Yeah, all I can do is ask. Anybody else for 5.2 then, Christmas in the Village? No, okay, skipping down to 8.1, financial statement, it is attached.
Not printed.
It's not printed?
It's so small on paper.
Okay,
I didn't print that portion because I figured if everybody looked at the agenda, you can zoom in on the computer at home.
okay.
But it is so small, it gets printed on, on letter paper.
So I do have a total here, just mine that I got. It looks like we're sitting at approximately $13,171.64 still available. Minus whatever, Denny, you found out or from the government grant.
No, that's including, so if we get the $5,000.
Yep.
You have 13,171 to use. If we don't get that $5,000. That'll be removed, and then you'll only have 7,000.
And that was 90 days from,
Yeah, I've put through our report. I have not heard. Whether we've gotten a check or whether they need more information or anything yet, so.
And does that include our, like I know before when we looked at it, our 5,000 from the town wasn't in there. Is that all updated differently now or? It looks like a different style of report.
The town gave us 7,500, did they not?
Yeah, but.
There was.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
2022 budget allocation balance was added into 2023, which was $5,589.53.
And then the 7,500 from the next year, yeah.
so Denny, then question for you, may be hard to ask, but of the 5,000 that went in for expenses or whatever we put in for expenses. Do you feel that some are questionable or? Some are 100% guaranteed, no problem?
I think some are 100% guaranteed. I don't know that all will be. The reporting was quite a bit less intense than what I thought. I literally had to write a paragraph of what happened that day, the things that we spent money on. But they didn't ask for uploads of proof of anything. So I don't know if it's, you report that, then if they have questions, they come back and ask for that.
Yep.
Or whether they just approve that based on what our application said. So I really don't know. This is my first year having to report on it.
So they have until October 1st then technically, would they, or?
90, yeah. Yeah. Well, we had 90 days after the event to file the report.
Oh, and then they, after that,
So I don't know if that means that they will look at it once it gets submitted, or they wait till the cutoff and then they look at them all.
okay,
I guess it'd be they wait till the cutoff and then look at them all, because they don't want to be proactive with anything.
so then it's safe to assume we have at least 7,200 roughly to work with.
Minus $3,000-ish from your motions tonight.
Or 10,000 roughly, right, if all that's. Makes it hard for planning, doesn't it? Like we've been here before. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on You said you don't have any financials in what you handed tonight, Danny, was it? No?
Yeah, but it's on the screen. I can go through anything if anybody wants it.
I would still really like to find the $273 in extension cords that were purchased.
I have looked high and low in this office and it is not here.
Cause there's many times we could use them. That is one thing that I guess concerns me. There was that one.
Hill.
On your way over to any of the garages or anything?
Mike Vasey was the last one who brought them back from the event and he said he put them in.
Carolyn's
Carolyn's
office.
office. Was the last
I-
place he put them.
I thought I'd seen them in Carolyn's office.
And there's also some screws that we had bought for the movie screen to hold it down as well that went
Mhm.
there. I don't know where they are.
I think staff was through the office several times looking for that stuff.
Does anybody else have anything at all that this area point to be 2024 event special planning? I'm not really interested in talking about that right now. I guess, to be honest.
So our next small meeting should be with the other partners in this Christmas.
It should. Sure. We'll have another meeting as a subcommittee level or wrap up any details that anyone's found out for trivia nights, right? And then we'll have another kind of bigger meeting with the party in the village.
So we make that meet, try and make that meet for the end of this month.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I definitely think so. At least it gives us a direction long in advance before everyone else starts tapping everybody for Christmas stuff.
The only reason I was asking that, because I was thinking if you have that meeting in September, then we should, in the beginning of October for your trivia night.
Fine. Yeah.
That committee.
Yeah, because trivia nights really, we pretty much know how to run, and it's at this point, it's really just the prizes. Right? So, and food. So. Yeah, that's fine. I can put an email out to the different people to find out. I don't want to give them dates. Because then everyone's got a different date. It's nice to say, here is a date. Right, or else you'll never pin anything down.
For meetings? So what you're
We'll meet
talking
with the other.
But I think it probably should start with Mike first to find out, since they're one of the main players. Right, I don't think you have to have every single person from the Lions there. They'll follow whatever their president says again.
Actually, Mike's not the president now. Paul Aiken is.
Who?
Paul Aiken.
What did that?
Not a line.
Fair enough.
Well, thanks. Mike's the treasurer now, so he is still on the executive.
Okay.
So for trivia night for food, you want me to just call Diane, and see whatever you did last year? Do this year if you want?
Ask them what they're thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we know the Kamlaki's not, so that's kind of on us.
Right, we've got the chips
Um,
and maybe the popcorn machine.
Do we want to have a vendor? Set up a truck outside or something? Do we want to do that or do you just want to offer something simple?
Simple. Simple, keep the simpler
Well,
Something salty so that they get more
here.
here.
I mean, the other option too is we could put it out to the food trucks that we've used in the past. Don't charge them a fee to show up, just.
But then you're gonna have people walking out of the building. and
Oh,
probably
yeah.
carrying booze and that, you
Yeah.
don't want that.
True. And then there's more mess to clean up.
That's
then,
right.
Yeah.
nachos and chips.
Too bad that she wasn't around, sorry. Grammys. Is she?
She's still around. I think she's just busy. I can reach out to her and see if she wants to set up a table of like. Food.
She had a good selection of stuff, really, didn't she?
Yeah, I can reach out and see if she's interested in doing a table for the. 14th.
Like,
Yeah, the 14th.
she really did have a good selection of stuff. For all ages, really, right?
And we're just gonna let her do it for free, or are we gonna charge her the fee? Let her do it if she's willing to.
I think so.
I will take my kids and stop in this week. She'll be happier.
All right, Mom. Okay.
Well, she's taking over the concession stand at the arena, so I don't think there's anything wrong with her business. I think she's probably busier than ever.
I know her daughter has the one pizza place.
Yeah.
And she was helping out, I think, with that
Yeah,
to a point, so.
but I mean, between birthday, like I've heard of tons of people having birthday parties there and everything else. Yeah.
Hey, she's a wonderful lady to deal with, so,
Yeah,
yeah, reach out to her.
yeah, she may have been trying to scale back what she's doing outside of her own business, but. I mean, let me see, if there's no fee, then it's all profit to her, right?
Well, and if she doesn't have the manpower,
Yeah.
would we be willing to, if she has everything all set up and stuff, would we be willing to? Let
No, I
the
think-
fees know she needs her own employee then.
I think so, cause she's got like, it's all of her own cooking equipment and stuff, cause you still need like keep the cheese hot and the hot dogs.
Oh, I was just thinking of candy. Yeah, okay, of course, yeah.
Do we know, sorry, the time for trivia night?
7 o'clock is about, it starts.
7.
Trivia started at 7, so doors open at 6:30 or?
What were you saying to me the other day, Corey, about opening?
That was, it's 30, we opened the doors last year, we didn't have anybody there, and then all of a sudden they came in.
A flood.
Yeah.
5 too. Yeah.
Yeah, 6:30 doors open and then trivia took what, an hour? Hour and a half?
I know we
Couple
got
hours.
started late.
I would say 6:30 to 8:30-ish, something like that.
It's 90 minutes trivia.
Is it 90 minutes trivia? Okay, so.
Well, they in mingle, so maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, worst case, if she packs up, we can always pull out our bags of chips.
Anyone else have anything to discuss? No? Al, you want to say something? If there's nothing else, then, I have a motion here by Mike Nagel, seconded by Gord, that the special events committee adjourn until the next meeting, Monday, October 2nd at 7 p.m. I'm sure that's all carried.